Hello everybody, this is the Walloxen, and today we are going to talk about bad movies, because they occasionally comes, and there are multiple versions of bad films. We have the, bad big budget blockbusters who, despite it being, naff in the scripts or naff in the direction or naff in the acting, still pulls in a pretty big number and at least is spectacular, and you can at least, admire the handiworks of it. And then you have the, cheap knockoffs of much better movies that, just becomes forgotten and, doesn't pull in anything and is sort of just there, forgotten in 6 months or so. Then you have, of course, the good movies, the movies that the critics like and IMDb like, and hardcore movie fans who like these kind of things like. And which usually doesn't perform well at the box office, but wins, multiple awards and stuff like that. They can sometimes be really, really bad. But when you're talking about the really, really bad movies, it's very, very rare that Hollywood puts out a 100% turkey. That both bombs at the box office, have multiple Academy Award nominated and multiple Academy Award winning cast, has a, horrible score on IMDb and is hated by critics and the fans. This very rarely happens. In 2019, however, that precise thing happens because Cats came out. But was it as terrible? Was it as bad as its reputation suggests? Yes! Yes, it fucking bloody well is, and we are going to find out why, because today we're reviewing Cats standing on a frozen lake. That is what I'm not going to do any jump in the end of this review. Here we go! Plot? We don't need a plot for this movie. We need 104 minutes of cats singing about who they are. We need a contest in which one cat is selected to go into a balloon, which then ascends to the sky, which probably kills this cat. And then we have Judi Dench having a monologue, talking straight into the camera for 2 minutes, ending with the fact that dogs aren't cats. Got it. Fact straight. Now, oh, by the way, we have Idris Elba here trying to, getting into the contest so he can go into the balloon and die too, I guess. There was so much momentum going into this movie late 2018. I mean, Tom Hopper was going to direct it. He had an A+ list cast of actors, and, he was going to do this fantastic movie based on, the Broadway review that had, been going on for years upon years upon years. What wasn't it to like about this one? And then came the trailer. And Jesus wept, because holy heckins was this trailer terrible. The internet literally couldn't get enough of it. Everybody was trying to come up with the meanest, cruelest, and most savage way of absolutely burying how awful this movie looked. Not since the Ghostbusters remake 2016 had the internet just piled on top of a trailer like this. All of its fire was gone, and the movie studio could just bear down the hatchet and hope that it wouldn't bomb too hard and that it actually would gain some kind of a cult following because how shit it was. It didn't. Now, it should be mentioned that I don't know anything about Cats. I have never seen it, and I don't know how good of a representation this is to, the source material. I do know that I don't like musicals. I think most musicals are bad. I think a lot of musicals are just lame and uninteresting, and there's a few select, on top that I actually think is pretty good. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. I really found of The Sound of Music for some bizarre reason. But the rest of them, they have a really of an uphill battle to fight to, get me to like them. So this wasn't going to be an easy task. But hot damn, this was bad. Now, the first time the cats jump, you go, ah, Jesus. At this point, I just realized that the ice is cracking beneath me. Better not move too much or be too animated for the next review, I'd say. And hopefully I'm not gonna fall through the ice, but I was a little worried there for a second. Jesus Christ. The first time you see the cats, you go, whoa, Jesus Christ, this is terrible. They're terrifying. But after a while, you kind of get used to how terrifying everybody looks. So then it's just, yeah, it's there. But the movie's biggest problem isn't how uncanny valley-like these fucking monstrosities of cats look like. It is the songs. The songs, they're okay at best. But they're, you know, boring and mundane and pretty shoulder shrugging at worst. I have heard from some part that the Mr. Mistopheles song is supposed to be a really upbeat and, you know, cool song, but it has been changed for some reason for this particular thing, for reasons, I don't know. Still checking the ice, hope it holds, And after about 15 minutes, I got really tired of asking the questions, are they humans who act like cats? Are they metaphorical cats? Are they jellicle cats? By the way, they're gonna say jellicle a lot in this movie. Oh my word, they're gonna say that. And it is just weird, it's bizarre to see. I mean, Rebel Wilson just seems to be horny all the time. Jennifer Hudson does, you know, just pretty good singing. Ian McKellen, for some reason, gets a drink out of a bowl. Dignity, you can't buy it. It is just such a big waste of all these big stars. It's just such a big waste of all this money and all this production, because the movie kind of looks okay, but you're all the time thinking, what am I watching? What the fuck is this? And when you're figuring out that every single song in this entire you know, cavalcade of nonsense is about who the cats are, then you're sort of sounding, is this like a rap thing? Because almost all rap things are about what is my name, what is my character, basically. So I guess this is a homage to rap videos, I guess. So should you watch this movie? Nope, I don't think so. It is kind of delightful to see how terrible this one is. It is a really big struggle to actually get this movie through, despite this movie not being that long. It feels so long. And the movie is so batshit insane that after a while you're just thinking, oh, how much more batshit insane can it get? Oh, that much more batshit insane. But unlike a batshit insane movie, like say Sardos or something like that, that is, by the way, I want that Tom Hopper now. I want you to make a musical about Sardos. I want to see that. But if you're comparing it to a movie like Sardos, where nothing makes sense and everything is just, you know, absolutely chestnut bonkers crazy, it just goes on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. A more song, another song, and then you just go, I'm bored. I just want to get out of here. But they said, nope, we have more stuff to do. Cats is an absolute 100% failure. I think that it is very difficult to make a movie out of cats, because I guess this is what the, you know, thing is about. I don't know why anybody would like to see this one, you know, as a musical on Broadway, but apparently a lot of people did. How do you translate it into a movie? I don't know how. Maybe this is the wrong decade to release this one in. Maybe if they would have released this one like in very, very early 80s or something like that, and going, you know, batshit insane and doing this really, really wacky stuff, maybe it would have worked then. But now people just can laugh at how laughably awful those cats look, and, you know, all this insanity that goes on. And I actually think that most of the actors hope that Tom Hopper would put a black bar over their, you know, faces so that they wouldn't be recognized in the post-release of this movie. This is a really odd movie to see, because At the same time, this movie is kind of boring. At the same time, the movie is very unique, which should be praised, but still, you're wasting my goddamn time with this one. This must be one of very few movies that had Oscar buzzes in the beginning and won a Razzie for Worst Picture. But that is exactly what this movie was able to do. That is something of an achievement, I must say. Despite having people like Idris Elba, Rebel Wilson, Jennifer Hudson, Ray Winston, Judi Dench, Ian McKellen, Taylor Swift, and the people like that, the movie just feels very lackluster. I'm giving this movie 3 points. It is one of the weirdest movies I have ever seen in my entire life. It is one of the worst musicals I've ever seen in my entire life. And it is one of the weirdest movie experiences I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen some pretty damn horrible movies in my days. But few compares to how awfully clunkily written and awfully performed this one is. I must give the movie a couple of points for its uniqueness, but I'm being really generous with my 3 points here, I think. So the lake beneath me is starting to crack. I probably should go now before this turns into a snuff film or something like that, which will probably still be a lot more entertaining than this fucking monstrosity was. I'll see you next time from, well, so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Woo!